Hello, this is Eastward, Night Elf Warrior on the Hammerish PvP server, and today this video will be explaining the basics of Malygos 10-man, the highest instance in the Nexus instance chain. In order to get, first of all, get in this instance, you must complete Saffron, the second to last boss in Naxxramas. In order to do 10-man, you must get the 10-man version key, and to do the 25-man, you must get the 25-man key. The 25-man key does work on both 10 and 25-man. The basics of this fight is all about positioning. There are 3 phases in this encounter. First, it's critical that the tank picks up the boss and face him away from the group, preferably to the side. There is no tail whip in this encounter, though. Every couple of seconds, he'll lift the group in the air, as you'll see here. Here you can do casting, but it's critical for healers to keep everybody up, because everybody does take quite a bit of damage, and you do take fall damage. If nobody gets healed while they're in the air and they fall, there's a more likely chance that they will die. So it's very critical to maybe have a druid or a discipline priest. As you see that notation that came up, a power spark forms from a nearby rift. These power sparks are very critical into beating his 10-minute enrage timer. It's very nice to have a death knight to help you death grip them to the right position. These sparks leave like a powder like area, as you can see right there, and what you do is that you would stand in them, and it increases your critical chance by 50%. These do stack, so you can have stack up to 2. So it's very critical for these if you can. If you do not have anybody doing this, you will more than likely not beat his enrage timer. More than likely a wipe. Here's another air phase. It's very nice to have either a druid for hots on the air phase right there, and a death knight. So if you see right there, I have the buff. This does stack up another time. This increases your damage quite a bit, and it's very critical that you use this. As you see right there, it's a double stack, which increases all damage and crit by 100%. So it's very useful to have this. Is it important to know that he does hit pretty difficult on a regular tank. Depending on his gear, it does depend on how your healers will handle it. If your tank is very geared, you can have 2 healers and ease load on the DPS. This is regular speed, so you will see the encounter as it is. This is back before just when 3.2 first came out, so everybody's just starting to get geared, and DPS is starting to slowly rise within groups. It's also good to have a warlock in mind, because if healers aren't able to get you a heal off during the time you are in the air, they will be able to use your Hellstone. So if you can stand right in the middle between those two, you can get double stacks. In this tank, our tank didn't really know what he was doing, but he was kiting him. You would face the wave towards the group, but position them away from the near incoming spark, and place him near up spark. The way that if a Malygos gets a spark, he'll hit 50% harder, 50% harder if he didn't have a spark. This right here is called the burn, what I call the burn and blow cooldown phase of this encounter. He'll stand up in the air and just gonna blow everything, because you'll need every single damage taken for the last phase. All range, including healers if you can, place a dot or 2, because this dot does go, keep on going. This is phase 2. This is the part where you will lose the time on DPS. See those little bubbles that just popped up? It reduces the damage taken by magic by I believe 75%. This is very critical. Your melee will need to kill these guys very quickly. We usually mark it with skull. This is a pug, so it's not very organized, but we managed to get by. On 25-man mode, it's good to have a second tank for this. Once you kill the ads, they're actually on a little disc. Melee, your highest melee will need to jump on the disc, as I'm going to try to do here. You would fly up and take out the range. Your range DPS isn't needed to grab one of these discs. If you're range heavy, this is much better than melee heavy in this encounter. If you see in the little balls, the bubbles right down there, he pops them down, and it's needed to move from one to another. Every couple seconds, he'll do something called deep breath right there. If you are not within the bubble, you're pretty much dead. So just stay in the bubble, move to another bubble when it comes up, and kill the ads. Basic and simple. Once you get all the ads down, you'll be going to Phase 3, which will be coming up shortly. Phase 3 is the most difficult phase, in my opinion, in this whole Malygos encounter. This is the spot where you do not want to lose any players and gain your DPS. Once all the melee ones are down, your tank should also grab a disc and DPS too. It is very important to know that nobody dies in this phase. This is the phase that's the burn phase, and you want to take out these guys as quickly as possible. This is also the phase that you will lose critical time in his 10-minute enrage timer. We're just getting ready to do the dragon phase. Everybody should stack up in an area and pick a target. So in this case, Star, our tank, is the person to follow. You'll be mounted on these drakes, similar to the one in Oculus. Everybody has the same drake, so it's not dependent on healers, DPS, and tank. It's good. Everybody must stack at all times, because he'll do a cleave-like ability that will split the damage. If you are healing, you would do 1, 1, 3, and pick a target, or 1, 1, 4 for general heal on everybody. If he fixes his eye on you, you want to have a couple of stacks. In this case, I did not have the stack in time. You would use the shield, which would take less damage. I'm sorry here also that my Fraps did crash right before this, but we did manage to get him down. It's just dependent that you usually have 3 healers on this phase. So we usually assigned our tank. This is just a DPS burn, beat his rage timer, and get on the drakes. This drakes is the most complicated part of this encounter. As always, please leave questions and comments and concerns about this. Thank you for watching this video, and good luck.